Hey Blazers, this episode is brought to you by Audible.com, an Amazon company. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/Blaze Entertainment or visit the sponsor and supporters links on our website at entertheblaze.com. With over 180,000 titles to choose from your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Now, let's start the show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's start the party. Locked in to the hottest station on the planet.
What's going on, Blazers? We are back with another episode of Blaze Entertainment. I'm your host, Kwame, joined by the beautiful, the fabulous, the oh-so-fresh and so fun, Miss Free. What's up, girl?
Not much, taking it day by day.
We do want to apologize for this week because I am in the process of moving and it is my fault, so I will take the blame on this one. Our audio may be a little weird because Miss Free is calling in and we are remotely doing this. We're not in studio, so we apologize. But anyway, we want to make sure we sent out some of our content and not have our weekly streak that we've been doing, because I don't think we've taken a break other than holidays, right?
Right.
We on it. So, all right, Miss Free, let's get to the phrase of the week, aka the wow, the word of the week.
Okay, well, the word of the week is bureaucrast.
The what?
A bureaucrast.
Okay.
And that means, it's a noun.
It's a noun, okay.
And that means someone who is appointed to help destroy or dismantle the agency for which he or she ostensibly works, a.k.a. Betsy DeVos.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Interesting. A.k.a. Scott
Lately,
Pruitt.
they've been really political. It's just been really political. I need something more ratchet.
I agree.
Yeah. I'll work on that next week.
Cool beans. All right, let's get into shout outs. Breaking news today. Finland allows same-sex marriages for the first time ever. I didn't even know Finland didn't have that. But
me either.
Yes. Kudos to Finland. You guys are finally, being progressive and getting on with the times. Do you have anything?
Yes. Viola Davis becomes the 23rd person to complete the so-called Triple Crown of Acting.
Yes.
Which means she's gotten an Oscar, an Emmy, and a Tony.
Isn't she the second?
In addition, she is the first black woman to do so.
I think that's incorrect because Whoopi Goldberg did that too. So she's the
Whoopi
second.
Goldberg got 3?
Yeah, she has a Tony, Oscar, and what was the other one?
Okay.
Yeah,
I might be wrong.
I think Viola Davis is the second black woman to do it.
Okay,
but
cool.
Thanks
for correcting me, girl.
No worries. No, we here. We gotta make sure we don't put out alternative facts. Okay, we keep it real. But yeah, no. But I think first of all, that doesn't take it away from the fact that she's fucking awesome, because Viola Davis is the shit. Okay, she deserves every award. She deserves all of the awards, girl.
Come on.
Yes. Speaking of people who are getting awards, Issa Rae receives the Rising Star Award at the American Black Film Festival Honors and Credits, Social Media for Opportunities. Congratulations, Issa Rae. You deserve it. I think she deserves so much more because she is absolutely phenomenal. She's making it out here for these black women. Yes. Black magic.
I love Issa Rae.
She's awesome. She's doing things.
She really is.
I'm waiting for Insecure season 2 to come out because I need for the problem to be resolved. Okay. Yes.
Where we left off.
To be quite honest, let's see. I have. Oh, do you have anything else? I have 2 more things.
No.
Okay. Mahershala Ali becomes the first Muslim actor to win an Oscar.
I know, right?
Awesome. Absolutely.
I just thought about that.
Yes. Yes.
I know.
Doing it.
I'm just proud of them in general.
Black people just doing it.
They won. That was a good moment.
Speaking of another awesome Black person, Rihanna was named Humanitarian of the Year. Fucking
yes.
A. I was so happy about this. The pop star was named Harvard's Humanitarian of the Year because of charitable donations to a breast cancer center in Barbados and a scholarship. Fucking awesome. And nobody knows that she's doing this because she's just doing it. She doesn't need to make all pomp and circumstance. She just does it. So
did you see the little black boy that was giving her the flowers and presenting for her, so introducing her? I was like, Rihanna, I think Rihanna will be a good mom one day.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think she would be one of those chill fucking moms too. She'll be like, look, don't piss me off. To go to school, do what you got to do, and get your shit together. We got things to do.
Right.
You got anything else?
No, it's a no.
Let's get into petty world news. Okay, I have to talk about it. Yes, please.
Okay. The first thing I want to get out the way is Rachel Dolezal.
Oh my God.
She has revealed that she is out of a job and she is going to be on food stamps, or she is on food stamps.
And so is a lot of other people that matter.
I personally don't care.
Right.
about
exactly.
her woes. She was quoted as saying, I'm not going to stoop and apologize and grovel and feel bad about it. She told The Guardian. I would just be going back to when I was little and had to be what everybody else told me I should be to make them happy. And I had a problem with that. What do you mean you're not sorry for pretending to be something you're not, girl?
Why are we talking about this bitch? She you know what pisses me off about her? What pisses me off about her is like she comes out when she first I forget what school it was, but she was protesting against I think it was an HB. You know what? I'm not even gonna go into it because I don't want to get the story wrong because it's been such a long time ago that I completely just blocked her ass out of my mind because I'm done with her ass. But what pisses me off...
But I just thought it was interesting that all of a sudden now she's like, I can't find a job and I'm going on food stamps. It's like, girl...
Right.
That karma came back around all them years you was fronting.
But wait a minute. I thought she was black. You mean black people don't want to support her? What you mean? What you mean, though?
Whatever, girl.
And what happened to her white privilege? She's biologically white. So why?
That's what I said. I said, why don't you just go back to her white parents?
Right.
Anyways.
The Walking Dead released a T-shirt, and apparently it was called racist, and it was pulled from stores. Here's the thing. Now you and I will be the first ones to let bitches know if something's racist or not. Now, this T-shirt, it was talking about how it was referencing Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, and apparently that has ties to slavery and here's the thing. I personally didn't find that racist. I could be wrong, and I'm only speaking for myself. I don't, other than, more representation, which I think for it being a mainstream show, I think that The Walking Dead has done a good job at casting the great diversity within their main cast and secondary casts. Right. So I think that in terms of diversity, of course I would love to see an all black Walking Dead, that would be just me. But at the same time, I think they've done a phenomenal job in terms of casting and making sure that representation is there. So,
I don't think the shirt was racist.
I don't think so either. And that was basically,
I didn't see. I was like, you know what? I need people to choose their battles wisely.
Right.
But
the article was
a waste of time and a waste of your breath, girl.
Right, but the article was written by somebody in the UK, and they were talking about African American issues, and I'm not saying that's wrong. That just because you live in a different country, you know, that you shouldn't speak on it. But my whole thing, and I appreciate, you know, first of all, and I think that the article also was written by a white UK representative or white UK journalism. Regardless, the bottom line is that I think this goes back to what I talked about a couple of episodes ago in regards to, you know, when people who are not people of color, or is not a person of color, is trying to speak from the perspective of a person of color. Like, I personally cannot speak for a white person because I am not white. And I don't expect a white person to speak in my truth and speak in my, you know, from my perspective as a black man, you know, when they don't understand the struggle of being a black man. You know what I'm saying? The same goes for, you know, I wouldn't want to speak for a black woman. I will advocate, I will you know, support, but I'm not going to speak for a black woman because black women go through, in my opinion, 20 times worse than black men. But the bottom line is, you know, I'm not going to speak for another culture if I'm not linked to it, you know what I mean, or if I haven't experienced it. So I think
girl, the whole thing is a mess because
it really was.
I really thought it was unnecessary.
It was silly,
and there was no intentions of it being racist,
right?
Whatsoever.
It was really just
something
quoting
Negan does in the show,
right?
Period. you know, like, and I got that reference, and I could see how people related it because the nursery rhyme is related. Or I've heard that it is related and tied to slavery. However, at the same time, it's something that Negan says in the show, and it wasn't anything that was overtly racist in the show. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just think people need to choose their battles more wisely.
Yeah, agreed. The Queen Bee, Beyonce, will not be performing at Coachella due to her pregnancy. I don't know why people are surprised about this. Why?
Yeah, Lady Gaga is supposed to be taking the place of her, so.
Which, I saw that article today, and I didn't get a chance to read it. But here's my issue with that. And again, I don't want to speak too deeply into it because I haven't read the article. Have you read the article?
No, I just saw it and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I didn't think about it.
Here's my issue with that. Lady Gaga is supposed to be this huge LGBT advocate and activist and supporter. And knowing that Coachella donates to, and I'm not saying this is no shade, no tea to even Beyonce because she was going to perform anyway. And she's allegedly slated to perform for the 2018 one. But if you know, I just found it weird. I just found it weird that Lady Gaga decided to be the headliner, knowing that who Coachella donates to. You know what I'm saying? And so it just bothered me.
Maybe I'm out of the loop. Who do they donate to?
So there are Christian organizations that are that still believe in sexual conversion therapy, and these Christian organizations that Coachella donates to fund those programs. And so I have a problem. Well, let me not say I have a problem because again, I did not read the article. I don't know in depth what's going on, whatever, how etc. But and again, I'm not going to knock nobody for doing trying to get a check. So I get that, but at the same time, don't advocate to be a huge LGBTQ supporter if you are going to go and perform at a place that is known to number one, the CEO supports Trump, and also they support Trump too. The CEO supports Trump. Yeah, the owner of Trump. Yeah, girl. I mentioned this a couple weeks ago.
I didn't even know.
Mm-hmm. But anyway,
I feel
Yeah, I digress.
That's a mess.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying, though.
You see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. Speaking of Trump, the White House has put out statements saying that they want feds to step up marijuana law enforcement. Here is my issue.
You're trying to make this insufferable, okay? Insufferable.
Here's my issue. It is one thing. It's already enough that you've already put a white supremacist and the pretty much the leader of the alt-right, in as your strategy, your chief strategist. It's one thing when you put a known racist as the attorney general. It is another thing to fill up your cabinet with all these millionaire lobbyists and stuff like that, and billionaire lobbyists rather. It is another thing to keep, to put all these people who are far right, who want to take away LGBTQ rights and women's rights. But now you're trying to take away our weed, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
so rude.
It's disrespectful. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
It's to the point where if you do that, you realize that you are not going to have people. You're not going to allow people to have a break from number one there. And I'm just talking about that's just recreationally. There are people, thousands, even millions of people who utilize cannabis for physical issues that they have that for illnesses and as medication. So it's not just, a lot of people say, oh, everybody's just getting stoned and blah, blah. And yes, I do, but it's not the point, Okay. But the bottom line is that there are medicinal purposes that go into marijuana. So I'm not understanding why they want to increase law enforcement on marijuana when it's already getting into a point where it's supposed to be federally legal. It's already legal in goddamn who knows how many states. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, what the fuck?
At the end of the day, I was watching The Young Turks. At the end of the day, the federal government, until they make it legal on a federal level, can go into any of these states and change that at the end of the day. Which is the messed up thing about it, because the people who live in those states have voted for it to pass. And I believe there is an overall 59 or 58 approval rating of passing marijuana use for recreational use
federally,
nationwide.
Yes. Yeah, I believe it's been going up since, but yes.
Right. So I don't know how they plan on doing something with such. It's a popular vote kind of thing, so I don't know how they plan on doing something as rude as that without a lot of pushback.
Right.
Because, as you know, in Colorado, it's $1 billion industry.
Right.
So, good luck with that.
Right.
Because then you mess with people's money.
Yes. Now, transitioning into another issue that the White House decided that they wanted to do. Laverne Cox, actress and activist and star of Orange is the New Black, discusses President Trump's rescinding of the protections on transgender bathrooms as well as transgender children in schools. And she said, and quote, which I thought was an amazing quote, "I think it's important that when we have conversations about transgender people, we do not reduce us to body parts." And I really...
Say that one more time? I didn't hear
that. Sure. So, quote, she says, "I think it's important that when we have conversations about transgender people, we do not reduce us to body parts," end quote. And I think that that's really important, because a lot of times, they get to a point where they're talking about, first of all, I don't want to know what's in your pants. Unless we're fucking, I don't want to know what's in your pants. I don't give a fuck what you're doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In the bathroom, because I'm in there trying to handle my goddamn business. Okay? Mm-hmm. I'm not thinking about you. I'm on my phone. Okay? I'm trying to especially if I'm in public bathrooms, I don't even like when my partner's in my bathroom when I'm handling my business and he come in there trying to grab whatever the hell he needs to grab out of the the supply closet or excuse me the cabinets or whatever. I lock the door because I'm in my world. That's my peace. Okay, I don't need people.
You are on your throne.
I'm on my throne. I'm handling my business. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't understand why we can't just use the bathroom and mind our goddamn business. Like, why is it so hard? And why are you and using this whole issue or using this whole excuse about, well, we have to protect the children because children, are victims of, or could be victims of transgender. We just don't know who's going to go in. First of all, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, there have been zero, I will say again, zero incidents and reported incidents of any type of sexual assault or attacks on children or adults from transgenders. Mm-hmm. Zero. I will tell you who it is more. There have been multiple reports and even more reports of white heterosexual males doing it. Specifically, Republicans. Okay? We have Republican politicians who have been reported to have had sexual incidents within bathrooms or molestation or whatever. But you want to look at transgenders. Girl, they're just trying to pee. Okay, that's all. Right. Mind your business.
I'm irritated because why is that any of your smooth business? Right. At all. Period.
It's rude.
Like, why are you so invested in this?
Right. What are you getting at here? Why do you care so much? You know what I'm saying?
Why can't people just use bathrooms? Right. I mean, they have, what do you call the bathrooms that are for men and women? They have those types of bathrooms.
Unisex bathrooms.
Yes, so what's wrong with a transgendered person going to the bathroom that they, feel like going to? What's
But
the difference?
What's funny? Non-gender conforming bathrooms, guess what? They were originally called unisex bathrooms.
Right. It doesn't it's unisex, matter. So what's the problem?
And check it out. How many times have you been at a club where if the women's bathroom is all filled, a bunch of girls will go into this? Mostly happens at from my experience, mostly happens at gay clubs, but I have seen it done in straight clubs as well. But if the women's bathroom is super packed, guess where the woman's gonna go to use the bathroom? That's right, the male bathroom, because guess what? They have to go. Okay, right. So they're trying to use the bathroom as quickly as possible so they can go back onto the dance floor and twerk their asses off. Nobody got time. I mean, exactly. So, what the fuck? Anyway,
speaking of dumbasses, basically, Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh my fucking god.
Talk about a stark contrast. Caitlyn Jenner decides to say, and I quote, from one Republican to another, "This is a disaster, and you made a promise to protect the LGBTQ community." Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn, girl. What made you think that he was going to stick up for the LGBTQ community in the first place?
I have nothing to say. I have nothing for her. I have nothing to say on her. I'm turning off my mic.
Like, she is so dumb. Oh, girl. I don't have much to say about that myself besides the irony.
Girl, when I saw that video, I watched it.
It was kind of like, really, girl? Like, what are you talking about?
Did you see the way she just glided to the fucking counter and just let's talk, bitch? You rehearsed this, hoe. Okay, this wasn't real for you. Like, you thought that you were gonna, it looked like she was creating some goddamn commercial. Where it took everything I had not to leave work to drive all the way to fucking Malibu and beat the hell out that hoe. And I was so pissed. Girl.
Anyways, what else do you have?
Staying on this topic and showing what real people, how real people support the LGBT community. Beyonce supports LGBTQ youth after Trump rolls back guidelines protecting transgender students, and tweets out. Excuse me, was it tweeting or was it Instagram? Whatever. She sent out and quote, LGBTQ students need to know we support them, end quote. Along with a hashtag that reads hashtag protect trans youth. She included a link to GLSAN, a national education organization that helps ensure safe schools for all children, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity. So that's how you fucking support a goddamn LGBTQ, and don't sit there and just go for a whole ass fucking campaign talking about you support Donald Trump and you support fucking the Republican Party and then all of a sudden say, oh, well, you made a promise.
Never mind.
He's a politician, number one. First of all, he's a goddamn politician. They all lie. And then two, it's Trump we're talking about. Girl, really? I mean, huge lie. Huge. Anyway.
Moving on.
Yes. Mac Beggs. And I love this.
Who?
Mac Beggs. Transgendered young man. Transgender teenager, after 2 days of a punishing competition, following years of training and preparation, Mac Beggs, a 17-year-old transgender boy, was in the state of Texas, was not allowed to participate in the wrestling as a wrestler in the male category. He was forced to participate in the female category. And guess what? He was crowned the top female wrestler in the 110-pound weight class for the state of Texas. Not only did he say, oh, so you just want to go ahead and play these games, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and win this bitch. Okay? And I'm still going to do it. And did that. So good for you, Mac Beggs, because the Texas feels fucking stupid right now.
Shouldn't that have been a shout out?
It should have been, but it flowed. Transgenders are doing it. Okay. Lucian Payne.
Cardi B.
Oh, okay. Let's go to Cardi B first.
Has allegedly gotten a multi-million-dollar deal with Atlantic Records.
Oh, okay. I'm not surprised.
I know. I love Cardi.
I'm not surprised.
She's so unapologetically herself, and I love her for that.
Let me tell you something.
And her mixtape was lit, both of them.
Out of everybody that's been on that's on that show right now on Love and Hip Hop, even though Cardi B is ratchet as fuck, I respect her because she is who she is. And she doesn't make any claims about it, and she's petty as fuck, and I love it. And she claims, and she's not doing it for the camera, and I like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell when people are just forcing it, or you know, changing their tune, Jocelyn. You know what I'm saying? You know, changing the tune specifically for the camera. Cardi B, I got you.
Congrats.
Yes.
Congrats to her. And that should have been a shout out.
Yes.
Too, congrats.
It's cool. It's cool.
You have anything else?
Yes, Lucian Payne blasts RuPaul on Twitter. He was or is apparently RuPaul's Drag Race's music producer. And
Isn't
then
this the racist one?
Yes. And then shortly after, he shares a public apology to RuPaul. And quote, RuPaul, I apologize for my public disrespect of you. I acted out in anger and hurt, and I don't even want to read this whole thing. Y'all go ahead to his fucking Instagram if you want to see what the fuck he said. But right after that, thereafter, he started tweeting some extra bullshit and racist bullshit. Here's what pisses me off about Lucian Payne, and here's what pisses me off about the whole fuck ass situation. Why has RuPaul have not public, like in the beginning when this was going down? RuPaul didn't say anything but to give him love when he was being racist and being just straight up like a fucking douchebag. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then he does this and blasts RuPaul directly. And now he makes a public apology. You can't blame... Okay, if he has mental problems, that's all fine and good. But my issue with it is that you can't sit here and say, oh, and he blamed it. First of all, this is what pissed me off. He blamed it on his heavy use of marijuana smoking. Look here, bitch. I have smoked many a times, okay? Mm-hmm. I have smoked a lot. There's been days where I feel that I have been in a 420 coma. I have never in my life ever experienced a situation smoking weed where I feel that I need to just start going on all types of racist rants. Ever. Never have I ever.
You know, the thing about this whole thing, Kwame, is that after he first came out with his whole thing, not like I knew who he was before, but I forgot who he was again. So,
right? And we're gonna continue to forget. Goodbye.
Right.
Speaking of
whatever,
RuPaul's Drag Race, RuPaul's Drag Race moves to VH1 for season 9 premiere date. I'm a little confused by this. I'm very happy that they're, spreading out and doing mainstream stuff or whatever. But I thought well, I mean, I have my own personal issues with logo anyway. But the fact that they're doing, that they kind of left, and they're not leaving logo. I think the rerun, so like it's going to air the first, like for whatever episode is going to air for season 9, it will air on VH1 first, and then it will repeat on logo. So it'll air one time, the new episodes will air on VH1 the first time, and then the repeats will happen on logo. So I guess you guys are branching out. Whoop whoop. Good for you.
I guess, girl.
Yeah, I guess.
I was just like, okay.
Right.
I guess I'll be watching.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay. Mary J. Blige announces star-studded night of all-female performers at the 2017 Essence Festival. Curated by Mary herself and inspired by her upcoming 13th studio album, Strength of a Woman. The evening will include performances from Shaka Khan, Jill Scott, Jasmine Sullivan, which I'm here for. Monica, Remy Ma, definitely here for. Tiana Taylor, Jane, oh my God, Aiko,
Janae?
Yes, thank you. Janae Aiko, Ari Lennox, Michelle Lee, the Jones Girls, featuring Shirley Jones, and of course, Mary
It sounds like a good lineup.
It sounds like a good lineup. Mary J. got to get her money because
what is this for again?
The 2017 Essence Festival. Yes.
Okay.
I might DVR it just because Remy Ma's on there first of all, and Jasmine Sullivan. I love Jasmine Sullivan. Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh my gosh, girl.
Jimmy Kimmel is petty as fuck, and I was here for it. Okay.
Did he do?
So at the Oscars, he was the what do you call it? The host of the Oscars.
You're right.
And he, on live national TV, tweeted to Donald Trump, "Are you up?"
He is. Girl.
Is everything okay?
Did Donald Trump reply?
No.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, that would have been epic if he did.
No, he was funny as fuck. It was so funny. And it was like live. Like, it was like on TV. And I looked on Twitter like to see it happen. And he was just tweeting his ass. It was just funny. Speaking of the Oscars, there was a little fiasco at the end.
I didn't even watch the Oscars, and I heard about it the moment it happened.
It was so hilarious. Okay, so this was my emotional situation because I was fully expecting La La Land to win because they were winning a whole bunch of awards that night, and and I haven't seen La La Land. I'm not any nothing against it, but I just felt because I actually watched Moonlight, which we'll get more into when we go into the review segment. But I watched Moonlight that day, and I was blown away. And so I was fully expecting, and I felt like, okay, maybe I'm just biased or whatever, but I feel like with all the raving and reviews and the everything, and after watching it finally, I felt like that Moonlight was just in and of itself a masterpiece in artwork and production and everything. So I was hoping for it to win Best Picture. When they announced that La La Land won, I was like, okay, I'm ready to, switch it over to Walking Dead. I'm done. And like, really, I was ready to go. And literally, as I'm getting ready to change the channel, because I looked at my partner, I was like, I'm done. I'm ready. I'm done with this. Because we were both like, fuck this shit. Literally, there was people rushing on the stage, just acting crazy and just like, stop. And they finally said, sorry, they did a whole Steve Harvey situation. It was like, we read the wrong card. It was wrong. Moonlight won. And everybody was like, what? It was like, and I looked at my partner. I was like, what? Wait a minute. This has not happened in the history of the Oscars. For it to be, at least to my knowledge, and it's never happened before where they've had these type of situations that happen. I thought it was fucking hilarious. I
thought it was great. I didn't even watch it. I didn't even see it happen in real time.
But it makes sense. I was happy that Moonlight won because it deserved to be Best Picture.
I do. I was just like, come on.
Right. So I was happy with that, but it was fucking hilarious because they're all just watching, and there's no shade, no tea to the La La Land cast because they did their thing, they But me personally, I feel like it's high time for the Oscars to start showing showing what people of color can do. You know what I'm saying? That was a phenomenal fucking movie. Moonlight is I'm not even gonna get into it. We'll get into it, during the reviews. Moving on.
I'm just happy. I'm happy Moonlight won because it didn't have anything to do with slavery or anything to do, someone being a housemaid or anything like that. So I thought that was awesome.
Right. All right, let's make this quick. I'm going to skip that because no one cares. Let's see. Do you have anything?
Nope.
Okay, let's see. Meek Mills is a bitch. That's all I got to say. Okay. He, just so people understand why I'm calling Meek Mills a bitch, he made a homeless person do push-ups for $20 and then not give him the money. So Meek Mills, I hope you choke on several dicks, and also get pushed over into an oncoming bus, and get ran over and shitted on by multiple dogs that are walking by. So
what is wrong with you?
That's how I feel about that. And then last but not least, the queen of rap, Remy to the motherfucking Ma, decimated, destroyed, imploded Nicki Minaj on what she calls Sheether. Bitch.
What she call what?
Sheether. It's like the she version of ether.
Sheether, yeah.
Yes. Girl, when I heard this damn track.
When I heard it, I was like, you know what, Remy? I ain't even going to deny it. You did that. You did that. My feelings were hurt listening to it. And it wasn't even about me. And I was just like, you know what? Props to where props is due, girl. Right, you did that.
You did that.
And personally, I'm not a fan of Remy Ma. The only thing that I know about Remy Ma is because she was on Love and Hip Hop, and I've never personally listened to her music ever before.
Same.
But she did that. And, so she's not queen of my life or queen of nothing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
To be honest.
For sure.
But she did that, and I'm going to give her, credit where credit's due.
Right, and I'm
just waiting to hear this response.
Oh, no.
That Nicki should be putting out sooner or later, and if she doesn't, then she can just take the L. But I'm just here for the entertainment because I just want to know what she gonna say.
Girl, it's Wednesday. She had ample opportunity to respond. She did not. Anyway.
No, it doesn't even matter the timeline, honestly, because
she's not gonna respond.
when Jay-Z and Nas had their little beef battle or whatever, Nas didn't come back with a clapback until he came out with Ether, which is what Shether is recorded on the original track of Ether by Nas, and that kind of finished that battle. He destroyed Jay-Z, okay? So, it's not over yet. I'm here for the entertainment solely, that's it.
Here's my thing. I like you. I wasn't a huge like Remy Ma fan. You know what I'm saying? So to be clear on that, it's not that I disliked her or anything like that. It's not that I just wasn't a big fan. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh my God, Remy Ma's the queen of all things. I'm not. Nobody's replacing Beyonce in my book. So that's me personally. And I'm not going to be one of those, I'm jumping on the bandwagon now and Remy Ma, all this stuff or whatever. But I find her hilarious on Love and Hip Hop. I do know of her songs that she did prior to her going into jail. But the bottom line is I wasn't like this huge like stand up for Remy thing. But I'm going to tell you, I've been waiting for someone to get Nicki's ass together, okay? Because I've been side-eyeing Nicki for a while, especially after the Orlando incident in Florida at Pole's nightclub. What she tweeted out and the way she responded with that situation made me side-eye her, especially when her fan base is black gay men. You know what I'm saying? A strong portion, I'm not say her entire fan base, but a strong portion of Nicki Minaj's fan base is black gay men. So when she did not respond or come out and do anything and people asked about that and she kind of the way she acted, I've been side-eyeing her for a while. Okay? Don't get me wrong, I like some of Nicki's tracks. You know what I'm saying? Like like you and I have said before, we will always separate people's talent from what the fuck their fuckery. You know what I'm saying? But I've been waiting. And Remy Ma, I've been waiting. And Remy, when I heard that track, for those who don't know, I am a bald-headed man. I shave on a weekly basis, okay? And my wig was snatched the fuck off, okay? When I heard that, girl, man, listen, it hurt me so bad. It hurt me so bad. My beard hair was like, wait a minute, we might have to evacuate. Okay, that's how much. I mean, it was to the root. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know how to respond.
I was kind of like, oh, so you gonna let her treat you like that, nigga? Oh, you gonna let her do that?
When I heard that,
instigated. Because I just want to know, like, how you gonna come back from that girl? I just want to know. And it doesn't even have to be anything too, like, as powerful as Remy's. I just want to know what she gonna say. That's it.
If she comes back, she needs to come back full force. And I don't even. You know what? I feel like Remy Ma like just walked up on her, told her that she was coming, jacked her face up, and like left her there. And I feel like right now Nicki Minaj is just laying there, just like dazed. And not understanding what the fuck's happening right now. That's why I feel like she hasn't responded. But if she responds, she needs to respond with immaculate rap and rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't.
And I feel like Nicki has the potential to do that, which is why I'm looking at her like, so is you gonna come with it or not? Yeah. Because this L is waiting for you if you don't.
Yeah, but we'll see how it goes. That's all I got.
Yep, okay, let's move on.
Let's take a break.
Hey Blazers, this is 50 Shades of Gay, and I'm excited to join the Blaze Entertainment family. Check out our show After the Blaze podcast, which airs every Wednesday on Pyro Media Network. For links to our social media, visit www.entertheblaze.com. Now let's get back to the show.
And we're back.
Yes.
With the review session.
Woo woo.
So, where should we start?
Let's start with the quick ones, because I know you haven't seen How to Wear with Murder.
You know what? This weekend is going to be my Black weekend, where I watch all things black and catch up. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
All right. So.
But I will
Which
say
one?
this: How to Get Away with Murder snatched my life. Okay, so
it was good. It was the finale, right?
Yes. This.
Okay.
Oh my God! It snatched my life.
So I could catch up. Then I could be leisurely with my time.
Girl.
All right.
Girl.
Let's just go to the Magicians, I guess.
Yes. You caught up?
Okay. I'm caught up.
Wait a minute. I didn't watch the last episode. This week's episode.
Episode 5.
I think that's this week's, right?
This week's episode is going to be episode 6.
Oh, okay. The
one that's coming on tonight is episode 6.
Okay, I didn't see last week's episode.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm only up
I'm
to 4.
caught up. I don't even know, honestly, where you left off, so it's going to be kind of hard not to spoil something for you.
Let's revisit it next week then.
Okay, well, I'm going to just say, so far I'm caught up. Julia is in some big trouble. What's his name? What's his face? Quentin's getting on my nerves.
Quentin's getting on my nerves.
But what is new? He's just being extra annoying after Alice, passed away. Rest in peace, girl.
Oh, yeah.
Elliot's still my homie, and I give the episode so far 8 out of 10.
Okay. That's really good, because you really strict on your ratings lately.
Yes, I have been. I've been stingy.
So I saw the first half, I think it was on Monday.
What was the last thing you saw?
No. I'm talking about for the new show I can't talk today. When We Rise.
Oh, okay.
I highly recommend you watch it. I think it's good. I think you'll like it. And I want to get your
Is it one of them sappy shows like the other one?
No,
TV?
it's not like This Is Us.
Okay.
But I definitely think that you should check it out, because I honestly want to get your opinion on it. So either you have to watch it. I want to.
What's it about?
It's about the kind of the start of the LGBTQ rebellion and how it's really good, but they touch on a lot of different oppressive issues. Like there's a African American there guy who's going through stuff or whatever. They talk about women's issues. It's really a good show, and I want to get your opinion on it. That's why I'm waiting for, because I have.
Is it like a drama or a docuseries?
It's not a docuseries. It is a drama. But yeah, I think you'll like it.
Okay.
So let's save our rating for that until next week, because I really want to hear your opinion on it. Let's see. Okay. I started this show called The Expanse.
What?
The Expanse. It's on. The Expanse? It's called The Expanse. Yes.
Okay.
And it's giving me Battlestar Galactica feels. And I so far I really like it. And I'm hoping, I'm only like almost halfway through the season. So I'm gonna, because I think it's in season 2 right now. So I'm on season 1. So I should be done with it by the end of this weekend after I finish packing or unpacking into my new place. So we'll move on to the next one. What do you got?
The Walking Dead?
Yes. Go ahead. Tell me what you thought.
It was slow. I ain't even gonna lie. It was slow.
Girl.
This episode was all about Eugene and his Negan thing. The thing about Eugene is that he gets on my nerves, but I find him so funny at the same time. Like, he is hilarious.
Yeah, he is.
Spoiler alert. I hated the ending. I was like, really, Eugene?
Yep.
Really, girl? Are we really doing that today? And the thing is, like, I can't gauge him, so I don't know where his loyalty lies, if he's just doing that just to be doing it, to be on the inside or not, some secret plot twist, or he's seriously like, yeah, I'm on your side. Like, I can't gauge him yet. But I just didn't appreciate the whole thing. Negan is crazy. Who throws their doctor into the fire, though? Like, who does that?
Yeah, that was weird.
Now are you dumb?
Who's gonna heal you?
Huh?
I was like, who's gonna heal you now, bitch?
Was he talking to Eugene? Like, okay, Eugene's gonna be our new doctor? Like, I was confused.
But Eugene wasn't even in, like, that's not his skill set. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh.
So that's what I was like, Negan, what are you doing? First of all,
like, what the? Yeah, right. Like, why would you? Okay, girl.
My take on the show. I this was the first episode, because I know that you had other issues with certain other episodes. Mm-hmm. This was the first episode that I was a little disappointed in, because I usually have heart palpitations at least twice in each show, or each episode. I was almost bored,
right, for
this show. And I understand that there's filler episodes that need to happen. I get it, but usually their filler episodes are a little more, more intricate and a little more appealing. So I don't know. I'm ready to rate it.
I don't know how this episode advanced the plot. Like, I must have missed it, but I didn't see how it advanced the plot whatsoever, which is kind of fair.
And that's my issue. I feel like even with the other filler episodes, you can tell why it was still in there. It was a part of the story, even though, like, okay, it's a little side quest. You get it. You understand why this was needed. Even though it you could have did without it, or it could have been sped up a little bit. You understand why. Right. This episode, I don't care. No shade, no tea to Homeboy, but I don't care about him. We have other people in the show that we need to be worried about right now, and you giving me this? Why? Are you trying to get?
Maybe they'll fill us in later.
And I'm trying to understand if you're trying to get me into more of Negan's psyche or what. But I didn't feel like I was getting Negan, and I don't know. I don't understand.
Mm-hmm. Well, I gave the episode a 6.
Wow, really?
Yes. Only because I was entertained by Eugene. Like, he's funny to me. That's it.
I gave it a 4.5.
A 4?
4.5.
You were that bored?
Girl, I was just not feeling this one.
All right, that's fair, because I was thinking about that. I was like, this episode was a little, but I enjoy Eugene's character. I just didn't get what the point of it was,
I like Eugene. Anyway. I like to see Eugene interact with the other, like, Alexandria cast. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that to me is like, I get more appeal from Eugene. Like, but just seeing him, like, by himself, like, kind of like being this little punk with Negan, I can't.
But notice how Eugene and Gabriel's roles switch. Did you notice that? Because I would have expected that from Gabriel.
Yep.
Anyways.
Yeah, maybe there's something going on. We'll see. Mm-hmm. Well, that's all I got.
Do you have anything else?
Nope. Let's take a break. We'll be back. Hey, Blazers. We love hearing from you. Got a show review? Need some advice? Have an opinion? Or want to vent something out yourself? Tell us about it. Visit www.entertheblaze.com and send in a letter today. And we're back with the listener letters portion of the show. Feel free to go to entertheblaze.com to send in your listener letters. We now have a new tab directly on our home screen. You can go ahead and just hit listener letters, and it will take you directly to our listener letter form. Ms. Free, take it away.
All right. The first letter comes from Tyrell, and he's from Inglewood, California.
Come on, California.
And I know, right? And his letter reads, "What's good, Miss Free and Kwame? First time listening to your show, and I have to respond to a letter you received in this most recent episode. I understand that as a whole, black men need to do better, especially to and for our black queens in our community. But this letter that was read made me feel uncomfortable, and I think that Miss Free hit it on the head when she pushed back on the generalization of ethnicities and how they treat the women in their cultures. Do I think There are black men who ain't shit, absolutely, but this can be said about all cultures and ethnic backgrounds. It's frustrating for black men like myself who focused on education growing up, graduated with honors in both high school and college, obtained a high-paying job, and takes care of his woman. I love my beautiful black queen, and I praise the ground she walks on. I strive to satisfy her in every way and do my best to make sure that she is not lacking in any area of her life. And no, I am not one in a million. I am one of many black men who do this. I surround myself with other great men of color. So for me, I feel it's important to make sure that we are not surrounding with yourself with ain't shit boys. By the way, I got some single great black men for you, Miss Free, that would be great to be in your presence. Tyrell. Thanks, Tyrell.
Well said, sir. Well fucking said. Took the words right out of my goddamn mouth. Yes.
Tyrell. Thanks, Tyrell.
Tyrell, you better go ahead and say
that.
You better go ahead. Her Twitter handle is Miss E323. You can go ahead and DM her all the information.
At
girl.
me, so I know it's real.
Oh, okay, girl. This goes hand in hand with something that our team member on After the Blaze podcast, Hope Giselle / Hope Disguised, was talking about in regards, because she put us in the corner. Now,
no, she didn't put me in no corner.
Here we go. I love Hope Giselle. She is a fabulous member of this team, and I do understand what she was saying. However, I think it is very important for us as black men and women to make sure that we are not generalizing our culture with our experiences. And I think for me personally, even though I am a black gay man, I am still a black man. And I felt slightly offended when we have this generalization of black men, where just because you've experienced ain't shit niggas, or, you know, as Terrell said, or fuck boys, as we say, or just stupid ass motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Like that, just because you've had that experience does not make it a blanket statement for all black men to be that way. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you're experiencing that, you need to reassess, you know, number one, because I believe that there's in the law of attraction. That's my personal belief in it. I believe that what you put out, you get back. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that you are specifically asking for ain't shit niggas, but if you are exuding energy in a way where you are all you're seeing is these type of people that are treating you that way, you need to reassess what type of energy you're sending out. And I firmly believe that, because once you start thinking, you know, your thought frames change, and you can say whatever you want, you know, to the masses, and you can put on your work face, you know, when you go, you know, in terms of, because I have a completely different personality when I go to work, because I have to go to work and I have a job to do, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, well, not completely different, because I am pretty much, without cursing at work, I'm pretty much the same. But the bottom line is that there's a certain type of person, a certain type of facade that you have to put up when you're at work. You know what I'm saying? Your work face, your professional persona. But aside from that, there's something that you're putting out, or there's something that you're believing in yourself, or that you have in yourself, that you're exuding energy-wise, that's bringing these ain't shit niggas around. And you need to understand boundaries. You know what I'm saying? If you have a boundary for these ain't shit niggas, you know what I'm saying, and these fuck boys, they won't come around. And you cannot generalize all black men to be that way. Do I believe that black men as a whole need to do better in terms of supporting our black women? Yes. However, I do not think that it is all black men. You know, when you start putting out there, black men ain't shit because, you know, they do this or whatever, and they don't support. Every culture has issues not protecting their women. I don't care who the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be Hispanics, whether it be white people, whether it be African Americans or black culture, whether it be Asians. women have been disrespected for millennia. You know what I'm saying? Women have been placed in a realm where they're not always treated, at the level of their worth. And I feel like it's disrespectful for you to kind of blanket, and not you personally, but I'm just saying for anybody to have a blanket statement for all black men because they had their experiences that way. And I really appreciated something that that 50 Shades of Gay had said, on the podcast of After the Blaze, in regards to what Hope had said. And he was talking about how we can't use our experiences and generalize it, and in addition to that, we can't exempt, other cultures just because we have, or they have an experience with black culture. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I just didn't feel that was fair.
Well, here's my take, Kwame.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I just want to say I strongly disagree with our team member, Hope. And I come from a perspective where, to me, and from what I've seen and what I've learned in college, disrespecting women in general has been a societal issue regardless of race.
Mm-hmm.
And how black men treat black women is often a direct reflection of how society treats women in general. And it's not just exclusive to black men. Other
Right.
races of men have this issue. And society has been set up in a way in which traditional roles for men and women have been set so strict where any deviation from what the traditional roles is, you're labeled, gay or the F word or feminine or a bitch or a hoe or a slut. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Any deviation from what is tradition, you get these backlashes from that. And just because you feel like the disrespect that black men are doing is just in that, it's not. It's something that, in general, as a society, that we have to work on.
Right.
Because
Right.
I can tell you, based off experiences, that other races of men, they say the same things, and I'm going to agree with 50 on the fact that it's not as publicized as our issues within our own community have been.
Right.
And that's a whole different discussion in which there's some weird fascination with our culture being so publicized. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's a whole different discussion.
That's a whole different discussion, which we could talk about on a later note. That's not,
Mm-hmm.
that's not what I'm talking about. But it's just ingrained in our society for it to be that way. And while I do feel like we've came a long way from, let's say, the 40s or the 50s, in which gender roles were very strict, at the same time, we're still held back. And you can see that in advertisements. You can see that on television. You can see that in generalizations everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just one culture that is doing it,
Right,
and
right.
I feel like as what you said, it's a gross generalization to categorize something like that. Like it's everybody, not just one person.
And just to, absolutely. And just to add on to it, it's also you're doing a disservice to the men, regardless of their race, who are doing what they need to do, who do give a crap about, women and their rights and who care, who are not ancient niggas, and who are not fuckboys, you know what I'm saying? And so you start to develop this kind of, and it's happened to me, and and I'm sure it's happened to you, where you start to develop this kind of bitter wall.
For me, there has been. I'm sorry to interrupt. For me, there has been at one point in time where I felt similar to Hope, in a sense that I had some resentment on my heart and my spirit, about the whole situation, and then I had to sit back and analyze it and be like, well, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like I hate them? You know what I'm saying? Like, where is this coming from? And it only took me sitting back and actually looking at it and actually, you know, having a class on it about how the emasculation of black men has happened to them since, you know, slavery, and how that's affected their psyche. And I'm not saying like all black men. I'm just saying the residual effects of slavery has messed up our community in ways that is really deeply ingrained, and something that needs to be untaught, you know. And it needs to be untaught for everybody, not only our culture but everybody. But I feel as though in my heart I know that we have been done wrong in the past, you know, and that's affected us plenty of times. And it just, and I don't want to attack Hope, but this disrespect of women, of black women, has not came out of nowhere. It wasn't just something that just blossomed, you know, just because it's something that's been taught to us from generations, you know, generations upon generations upon generations. Yes, it's been taught to us differently, but the message was the same. If that makes sense. So,
and a lot of that
that's just my piece.
and a lot of that, you know, has to do with, you know, and going back to my original point when you were talking and bringing up this point, I think, like, you know, this whole, I feel like if you develop this, because like I said before, you know, everybody's been through. I've been through it, where you have this like moment where you feel like you have this like wall of bitterness or whatever, or you close your heart up to, you know, to people, or whatever, and because of all the pain and hurt that you've experienced and all the disrespect that you experience. And I think that that's evident, especially, like, you know, for me personally as a gay black man, you know, and I'm sure, you know, transgender women go through it probably even worse, you know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is, when especially in your own culture, when you get such hatred and such disrespect, you do get turned off, you know what I'm saying? You do get, you know, you get this resentment, you know, in you. But at the same time, you can't have such a anger towards the situation. Don't get me wrong. Feel how you feel. I believe everybody has the right to feel how they want to feel. You know what I'm saying? But what you do with that feeling is what's important. And I think that closing yourself off, or allowing those feelings to harden you to the point where you are closing off to pretty much love, in my opinion, it's going to not only potentially block somebody who can be great for you. You know what I'm saying? You're turning off people who you know, who could potentially be, you know, a great partner to you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know if I have my shit together and I'm like ready to if I'm prepared and I'm mature enough to have a relationship, and all of a sudden bitches be cray, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's gonna turn me off, because it's like, there's one thing where you have to go through relationships and you know, you go through, you know, baggage, and you know, you work through that as a couple. But there's another thing where you're automatically just kind of like always on the defensive, and it's like that turns people off. You know what I'm saying? That makes you feel. And I'm not saying that you have to be here for anybody, bitch. Do what you gotta do, boo boo. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that, like, don't get so hard and so closed off to things to where you are making these generalizations, and you're putting up these anti-black people, you know, black men banners and all these type of things in your heart, and you could be missing out on your man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, that's just all I'm saying. Is just, don't let your past experiences dictate your present circumstances and your future. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
To answer the listener letter question that we previously had, no, I do not think it's cultural, point blank, and the period. I think it's been taught to us, you know, as a society, for everybody, not just one race of person, point blank, and the period. That's it. I'm done talking about it.
And we're actually running out of time, so we are going to let that be the last listener letter, and we will return with the listener letters next week. So we'll be right back.
Blaze Entertainment is now on iHeartRadio. iHeartRadio is the only music app that features thousands of the country's best live radio stations and custom artist stations you control. Visit iHeart.com, or you can get a direct link on entertheblaze.com today. Yay!
And we're back with the vent section. But
we did our vent.
We ain't got no vents because we vented everything out.
That was just a discussion that we felt like we needed to have.
Yes.
Yes. And
I think it will be really cool eventually in the next, probably next month or so or whatever, to have all four of us on, the episode to kind of discuss things, because I think I want everybody to feel like they have their opinions on stuff like that. And I love the different personalities that we have on our team, not just on Blaze Entertainment, but all over Pirate Media Network. We have different shows and things and all that stuff. And I don't want that to stop. But I also want us to, be it, like, we have to put things in perspective when it comes to certain things. Like, I do not like putting out fake news. I want to make sure that we have, sources checked, that we double check things or whatever before we say anything. And I feel like that's, sometimes it's hard, but, especially, being, as liberal as we are, it's sometimes hard to kind of look at things objectively because you want to just be on the side of what you feel it is. And there are evidence or things that, that we see when we check things, and it's like, fuck, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you have to look at things objectively in life, and I feel like, in regardless of things or whatever, or how we feel about things, it's important to kind of make sure that, yes, have your opinion, vent what you need to feel out, because that's how you feel, and that's okay. But at the same time, be careful, because people will get offended. There's certain things, like, I don't give a fuck what Trump supporters feel. I don't give a fuck what bigots feel, whatever. That's just, they're always going to be assholes.
I don't care, point blank, and in the end, period.
but when you make generalizations, because I personally, I was a little offended, you know what I'm saying? And, by certain things that were said, because I feel like as a black man, even regardless of my sexuality, I feel like I strive hard to support black women and women in general, you know what I'm saying? So I felt bad for the men who I know a lot of great, really good African American fathers. I know a lot of great. I'm sorry?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I was. I know a lot of great fathers. I know a lot of great, men who are out there doing what they need to do, regardless if they're African American or not. Like, people of color that we have, like, I know that they do great shit. You know what I'm saying? And it just feels bad when you hear that constantly. You know what I'm saying? When it's like, oh, men ain't shit and blah blah and black men ain't shit. It's really frustrating, because it's like not all of us are like that. You know what I'm saying? And I think it kind of goes hand in hand with, when you have kids in school and all they hear is like, kids in school, they're horrible or whatever, but nobody's looking at the kids that are actually doing their work and, making straight A's and, the captain of the volleyball team or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's looking at the positivity and stuff. And I think that that's something that we need to start doing. Yes, vent to everything that we need to vent out. Yes, let's spill the tea when we need to spill the tea, but we need to be careful about, like, how far we go when it comes to generalizing things and stuff. So, but yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, and I myself am not a black man, so I can't say if I was offended. But when I was listening to it, I felt as though there was a lot of misinformation, and that just needed to be clarified. Because, like I said before, I came from a place like that, and it wasn't until I had to self-reflect, and I had to do, and I had really great professors at the time, but kind of identified the reason why things are the way they are.
Right.
And, I had a self-awakening moment. Not to say that nobody's not woke or anything like that. I'm just saying that
for that experience,
I feel as though what was said was just could use a little bit more information. That's all.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. So. I can't say that. I just felt like it was just a a little off, just a little.
And even the letter that started this whole thing, I felt like that was off because I felt like it was.
That was off too. That was off
for sure.
That was
off. And I think that was the root of it all because I feel like I don't want people to feel like they can't write in and to feel scared that they get, because we're going to tell you how we feel about something, because you're asking basically our opinion. And so I feel like you have to be able to take that. And that doesn't necessarily mean that our opinion is correct. You may not agree with our opinion. That's all fine and dandy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I respect your we just going to have to agree to disagree. But don't expect us not to be real about how we feel about it, or true rather to how we feel about what's going on. And I want that to continue regardless of what show is going on, Pirate Media Network. Like, all of us need to maintain our authenticity, and I want us to keep that because it creates great discussions like this. And I like, it's not malicious and it's not, tit for tat. It's great discussion, and I think it's important to kind of have.
It's all love.
It's all love. We love our Blaze Entertainment peeps, man.
Yeah.
But anyway,
so
let's get to these quick announcements before we go. This week that just debuted today, actually, because this is going to air on Friday, so Wednesday. I'd Rather Not podcast has just aired, or debuted, yes, with Chrissy Champagne and as well as myself. And so that was really fun, and check it out. It's a bi-weekly podcast, so every 2 weeks you'll get a brand new show. It's pretty fun, and it's nice to kind of not deal with like politics sometimes and deal with the fuckery of the world and just kind of be gay. So, but that don't mean I don't miss you, Miss Free. You just
leave me.
I will never leave you, sis. But also check that out. And also, Pirate Media Network now has a Facebook page. Go ahead and check that out. It's facebook.com/Pirate Media Network. Our shows are updating. We're doing great things, and we're looking forward to the future and all of the awesomeness that has happened. Also, check out After the Blaze with our sister and brother, Hope Disguise and 50 Shades of Gay on After the Blaze podcast, where they recap all of our shows. And also, the Echo Project. The Echo Project is a free service that we give out. The Pirate Media program started to retweet other podcasts and shows. So it's not anything that they're paying for. It's just, we're just doing it because podcast community is so huge, and we want people to help gain awareness on different shows and stuff like that. So you can go ahead and find that on Twitter at PodEcho1. PodEcho1. Yes. PodEcho1. But all of this information can be found on PirateMediaNetwork.com. And also check out EnterTheBlaze.com for all of your Blaze Entertainment information. Anything else, Miss Free?
Nope.
Yes. All right.
Out.
Yes, I'm looking forward to moving this weekend and being closer to my sis and my partner in crime. Yes. Let's do this.
Where all the fun is.
Yes. Come on, Los Angeles. Here we come. All right, y'all. It's been fun. It's been real. We're out. Take it easy.